Welcome to Allocadia's self-serve training series, developed to assist you in setting up your company's Allocadia instance. Allocadia enables marketing teams to collaborate in one location, add users and customize permissions easily, from giving a marketing manager full budget editing privileges to granting view-only access to the finance team. My name is Jennifer and I will be your host for this series. Let's get started with video 4 of 7, User Management. Let's quickly recap what we learned in the first 3 videos in the self-serve training series. In video 1, Building the Hierarchy, we discussed how to plan and create a budget hierarchy in Allocadia. In video 2, Configure the Settings, we discussed how to plan, create, and manage columns and fields, how to create and edit views, how to create and edit tags, how to adjust account preferences, how to set budget currencies, what the purpose of custom settings are, and how to set up connectors in Allocadia. In video 3, Import Budget Data, we discussed how to format a budget spreadsheet for import, how to import new budget data into a new budget, and how to import new budget data into an existing budget. In this video, we will cover user roles, how to adjust editor and administrator permissions, how to view the user roles, how to invite users, how to edit user roles, and how to remove users. Allocadia is a permission-based application. Users can only see the folders, subfolders, and budgets that they have been given access to. In video 1, Building the Hierarchy, we discussed organizing your budgets by budget owner, as budget owner is typically how access into budgets is given. There are 5 user roles within Allocadia: owner, administrator, editor, editor data entry only, and viewer. Each Allocadia instance has one owner. By default, this is the user who assisted with the setup of the account and should be the person who is responsible for your Allocadia instance. The owner is able to manage the Home tab hierarchy, specifically create, edit, and delete roll-up folders, subfolders, and budgets. Manage users, specifically invite and remove users. Manage account settings, specifically create, modify, and delete columns, fields, and budget grid views. Set administrator and editor permissions, and set up connectors. Manage imports, specifically import budgets, POs, and actuals. Delete imports, and manually enter, modify, and delete imported and manually inputted POs and actuals, and create, modify, and delete import templates. Input and edit budget data, specifically create, edit, move, and delete categories, subcategories, line items, detailed panel field entries, and cell entries on the budget grid. And typically owners can also manage analytics, specifically create, edit, and delete analytics dashboards and reports. Note, analytics permissions are separate to Home and Budget tab permissions. We will have more details on analytics roles later in the video. Administrators have the same rights as an owner, except administrators cannot manage the Home tab hierarchy, specifically create, edit, and delete roll-up folders, subfolders, and budgets, or set administrator permissions. Editors are the marketing end users. They work within the application on a regular basis, tracking and updating their marketing spend. Editors are able to input and edit budget data, specifically create, edit, move, and delete categories, subcategories, and line items, and input details panel data and cell entries on the budget grid. By default, they can manage imports, specifically import budgets, POs, and actuals, and manually enter, modify, and delete POs and actuals. The editor's ability to import POs and actuals is usually disabled via the master settings. We will touch on that later in the video. Editors are typically viewers of analytics dashboards and reports. However, they can be set as editors of the analytics, allowing them to manage analytics, specifically create, edit, and delete analytics dashboards and reports. Editor data entry only is for users who are responsible for updating the plan, forecast, and details on your spend. Editor data entry only users can input and edit budget data, specifically input edit data on the budget grid and details panel, and view analytics. Viewers are users who would like visibility into budgets, but will not work within them. A viewer can be a member of the finance team, the CMO, etc. Viewers can view budgets and view analytics. Please note that users can hold multiple roles within the application. A user can have viewer access at the top level, allowing them to see all of the budgets, and even have editor access to the budgets that they will be working within. Users can also have different roles for the Home and Budget tab versus the Analytics tab. There are 2 roles for analytics, editor and viewer. By default, all analytics users are view only. Editors are able to create, edit, and delete analytics dashboards and reports. To make a user an editor of analytics, you must contact support, or if you've purchased implementation services, this will be configured during the implementation. Allocadia enables you to adjust the administrator and editor permissions, restricting certain tasks. Administrators are able to import POs and actuals in Allocadia, and manually edit and delete POs and actuals via the Actuals panel. The owner of the Allocadia instance can adjust the administrator's permissions to restrict the manual editing and deleting of POs and actuals. Turning on this restriction allows administrators to import but not manually adjust POs and actuals. In Allocadia, we provide editors the freedom to manage their budget, such as creating marketing spend activities like categories, subcategories, and line items, aka rows. When multiple editors share a budget, you may want to restrict their ability to delete rows to prevent one user from deleting another user's marketing activity. Also, restricting the editor's ability to delete rows will ensure that rows with campaign and event details attached will not be deleted in error. By default, editors also have the ability to import and manually add, edit, and delete POs and actuals. If POs and actuals are being imported from a finance ERP, we recommend limiting PO and actuals management owners and administrators. On the Home tab, click the green Master Settings hyperlink to open the Edit Settings area. Select the green Permissions hyperlink. The Permissions area will open. In this example, we will restrict the editors from manipulating POs and actuals within the system. Under For Editor Role, select the Disable Importing, Adding, Editing, and Deleting of Actuals and POs. Click the Exit Settings hyperlink to close the settings area. We have reviewed permissions in terms of user roles. Now let's talk about permissions in terms of access rights. Users can only see the subfolders and/or budgets that they have been invited to. Think of the budget hierarchy as folders. The top-level folder contains all subfolders and budgets. If you would like a user to have access to all subfolders and budgets, you would invite them at the top-level folder. Users can be invited at any level and will see the subfolders and budgets inside. Let's have a look at who has already been invited into the application and what their user roles are. On the Home tab, rest your cursor on the user icon in line with the top-level folder of the budget hierarchy. The Shared With pop-up window will open, showing the name, job title, email address, and user role of all users who have been invited at that level. Note there may be unregistered users listed. These are users who have been invited to the budget hierarchy but have not yet logged in and registered. It's time to invite new users. On the Home tab, click the green Invite hyperlink in the Share column. The Share With Others pop-up window will open. Click in the email text box and enter the user's email address. Select the user role from the Role drop-down menu. If you have a special message for the user, type it in the custom message box. In our example, I will send a message about when the Q1 plan must be entered by. There are two notification options relating to user invitations. Send email to invited user. Selected by default, the Send Email to Invited User function will send an invitation email to the user once you've clicked the plus invite button. If deselected, the invitation will be created but not sent to the user. We recommend deselecting the checkbox and creating the invitations for all users prior to training. Once training is complete, the invitations can be sent to the users. The Send Copy to Myself option will send a copy of the invitation email, providing confirmation that the invitation was sent. In our example, we will deselect the Send Email to Invited User and send them the invitation email later in this video. Click the plus invite button. You will automatically be taken to the Share With tab of the Share With Others pop-up window. At the top of the window, you will see the message, Your user has been invited. In the Shared With pop-up window, you will see a list of users who've been invited to the folder, subfolder, or budget. In the Share With window, you can change a user's role, remove a user, or send a password to the user, such as sending the invitation. User roles can be changed from within the Share With Others pop-up window. If you would like to change a user's role for the entire application, you will need to make the change at the folder, subfolder, or budgets that they have been invited to. If you change a user's role at a lower level, the role that was assigned at the upper level will remain. This is beneficial if you would like users to have a view into the entire hierarchy, but only have access to work within specific budgets. In our example, we will change two user roles. We will change Peter Chandler from an editor to a viewer at the top folder level. We will then go to the Americas subfolder and change Peter's role from viewer to editor. This will enable Peter to see the entire hierarchy and work within the Americas. On the Home tab, click the green Edit hyperlink in the Share column in line with the top-level folder. Click the Role drop-down menu in the Role column in line with Peter Chandler. Select Viewer. Click the Save and Close button. We've changed the role of Peter Chandler from an editor to a viewer. Click the green Edit hyperlink in the Share column in line with the Americas subfolder. Click the Role drop-down menu in the Role column in line with Peter Chandler. Select Editor. Click the Save and Close button. We have changed the role of Peter at the Americas level, making Peter an editor of the budgets within the Americas subfolder. Rest your cursor on the user icon in line with the top folder. Peter Chandler's a viewer. Rest your cursor on the user icon in line with the Americas folder. Peter Chandler's an editor. Now that we have invited a user and changed a user's role, it's time to remove the user. On the Home tab, click the Edit hyperlink in the Share column in line with the top folder level. The Share With pop-up window will open. Find the user that you would like to remove and click the red Remove hyperlink. Click the Save and Close button. If the user was invited at multiple subfolders or budgets, they will need to be removed at each of the levels that they were invited to. Let's recap what we just learned. We learned about different user roles and privileges, how to adjust editor and administrator permissions, how access rights work, how to view the user roles, and how to invite, edit, and remove users. Jump into the application and get your hands dirty. Configure your company's Allocadia instance. Now that we've invited our marketing end users, what comes next? It's time to import POs and actuals. Watch the next video in the self-serve training series, video 5 of 7, Importing. To find the remainder of the self-serve training series and other support articles, go to support.allocadia.com.